All right. Well, good evening, everybody. Ken Johnson here on this July the 8th of 2025. And I hope that you guys have had a great afternoon and a great evening. I hope you've had a great day here. Me, everything's going pretty good here. I've just all in the day's work. That's all there is to it. I'm actually tracking a few thunderstorms out there tonight. We'll talk about those here in a few minutes. They're not widespread, but they're at least out there. There's a few storms out there anyway. Actually, a couple little severe thunderstorm warnings, believe it or not. Now, again, these are not springtime severe thunderstorm warnings. These are not the real dangerous ones that we get here with in regards to hail and high winds and tornadoes and stuff. These are, summertime. They have lightning strikes and heavy rain, and they can have some isolated gusty winds with them too here. So we're looking at some of these. I'm going to show you a radar in a minute. We got some of those up north of Frederick. We got some of those over towards Quanah or just south of Quanah. And, these storms are kind of drifting south and to the southwest, kind of around a big area of high pressure. These are going to gradually kind of begin to fade out later on tonight, but there could be a better chance for some of this activity around here tomorrow. So it's possible. So, well, hello, Carol from Altus. Hope you're doing well here this evening. Carrie, hope you're doing well as well. Hopefully Weatherman Cam will pop in here. And we can talk to him a little bit on the chat here. I'm going to tell him to join us here so we can talk. He's got some exciting news. So I'm telling Cameron to join us here. So, all right. Well, he'll be on hopefully here in a minute. But anyway, so let's see what's going on in the world today besides tracking a few little thunderstorms here. And I'm going to show you those in just a minute. I'm just trying to, actually, we got a pretty good buildup now. So let's go ahead and do that here. Let's do a screen share where we got some people in here so we can talk about what is going on. Remember, I got to take the overlay off here and go to this. And now we can hit play and go from here. All right, so on the radar tonight, you can see these little severe thunderstorms. You can see there, first of all, you can see there's just not many around. There's some storms down in the Dallas-Fort Worth Metroplex here. They're, been producing some pretty heavy rains. There's some flood warnings up there, flash flood warnings there into the Dallas area. Of course, with all of the tragedy and stuff that's taken place over the weekend or late last week, and even today in Ruidoso, New Mexico, and actually something else, it's kind of been overshadowed has been over in North Carolina. They've had a lot of big flooding, and all this was from tropical systems here. But some flooding throughout parts of the Metroplex there into the Arlington area. Some flash flood warnings there. These storms that prompted those warnings have now shifted to the south. They're just not moving very fast, and they're just producing a whole lot of rain here. Back over into our area, though, if you take a look, there's not a lot of storms over most of here, but there are some storms, some warnings, actually. There's a little bit of a severe thunderstorm warning south of Quanah with that storm that's kind of drifting southeast into Ford County towards Kroll. Probably see some storm activity there. Into the Kroll area here soon. Heavy downpours, maybe some gusty winds. There may even be a little small hail with that just south of Quanah as it's drifting to the southeast there into Ford County. Now, this storm is now south of the of Quanah there, so that is looks like the storms are out of the Quanah areas, mostly rural areas, but Kroll, you could see some activity. Now over here into Tillman County, there's some storms dropping in from the north, Tillman and Jackson County. These are perhaps impacting Altus here pretty soon, and they'll drop into the northern parts of Tillman County. Eventually, they could find their way down towards Frederick. So we'll just have to wait and see what these things do. I don't expect a lot of activity overnight, but next several hours, there should still at least be a little bit of stuff here and there. And, but this should begin to dissipate and diminish once the sun continues to set here and we get deeper into the night. We shouldn't see a whole lot. So that's good there. So we don't have to deal with a lot of that. But tomorrow, there will be some hit and miss storms around tomorrow into the afternoon here. So I'm going to look at the weather data real fast. This is the future radar, as we like to call it. And this is going to be showing the time period tonight. And you can see there's the storms out. You can see how they really kind of diminish once the sun continues to set, although there might still be something isolated overnight dropping in from the north. I wouldn't expect a lot of activity. Here we are, 7 a.m., not a whole lot going on. And then we get to the afternoon. Let's see if the latest information still develops storms. And it shows a few little hit and miss storms popping up here or there. Not everybody getting them, but there might be some. And then we go to Thursday, and Thursday might also feature at least a small chance for a hit or miss storm. So not everybody getting them, but you could see one or two. And if you do see one or two, you do get underneath one of these, then you could wind up getting some downpours and maybe some, some lightning strikes, some dangerous lightning strikes, and maybe even some minor flash flooding. So that's something that we will keep an eye on. Electra, probably not much there tonight. I don't think so. Yeah, you got that storm moving in, little area storms moving in from the north there. Good evening, Brendan. All right, so I was trying to get Weatherman Cam to join us here. And he's texting me now, but he's not joining us here. He needs to join it. I'm telling you, I want him to be on whenever I talk about his news here. All right, there's Weatherman Cam. So over the course of the last couple of years, since Weatherman Cam joined us here at News Channel 6 and in my weather team, Cameron has been an outstanding member of the weather team. And no, I don't think so, Tristan. Probably not. They're all out west. That's probably where they'll stay. But he's been an outstanding member of the weather team. I couldn't have asked for a better employee here. And he's also become a great friend as well, even though I'm old enough to be his dad, which is, my wife thinks is kind of weird, but, I still consider Cam a good friend. And over the last year, y'all have gotten to know both of us and how we have this crazy banter back and forth, and how I like to just to make fun of Cameron all the time, and he makes fun of me all the time. We really do have, and I said this the other day, I'm the yin, he's the yang, the yin yang, whatever, however that is. But anyway, we do compliment each other well when it comes to, he brings out a different side of me. So with that said, Cameron's been a great guy, and I'm been very fortunate to have him here in the weather center with me here. So during this time, we started doing this Facebook Live. Of course, whenever he went and joined mornings, we don't do it like we used to, where he'd come up here at night and we would do it together. We do it sometimes on Friday, but I don't even know moving forward how often he'll be here on Fridays now. He may not be with us. We may not be doing many more of these Facebook Live updates together. And this is why. All right, so let me kind of back up. So over the last couple of years, we played a lot of fun with Cameron. We tried to play matchmaker on here. We've even kind of teased and said, hey, we could do something like The Bachelor on with Cameron on social media here. The Weatherman Bachelor, or I guess we could do, what's a popular one now? Love Island. That's to me. So my wife watches Love Island. I think that's the worst show on TV. That is, I don't see what the big deal is. That is a horrible show. So anyway, we back up a little bit further in time. We go back into the spring, and Cameron was talking to a young lady. And she lived in Springfield, Missouri, or Branson, or Joplin, Missouri. And he actually, things were going well with this young lady. Seemed to be a very nice young lady, and he even had a date with her in Tulsa. So he drives up to Tulsa, and he goes up there, and things are going well. And he comes back, and then she just all of a sudden ghosts him. Well, he really liked this girl, and I think she kind of may have broke his heart a little bit at one time. But I told Cameron then, I said, you know what, Cameron? I was like, that everything happens for a reason. We don't know what that reason is right now, but everything happens for a reason, and it will reveal itself at some point in time. So let's fast forward a few months later. And we go through our severe weather season here at in Texoma, and we have a pretty active severe weather season. But we didn't have a lot of tornadoes. We had a lot of a lot of big storms, but we didn't have a whole lot of tornadoes. And Cameron didn't get anything this year, and he told me he was going to get an Emmy award this year for tornado coverage, and we didn't get any this year, or he didn't get any, or at least we thought. So we make it all the way to the very last storm chase, or one of the very last storm chases of the entire year in June. And he finally gets one. The only chaser on this storm down in Knox County that gets a tornado. So he finally got him a tornado. that led to a young lady that I guess she had watched Cameron's storm chasing here in our weather coverage or whatnot. But this young lady, she friend requests Cameron, and I don't know how it all happened or whatnot, but they wound up becoming talking quite a bit. And then they actually started going on a couple of dates. And well, let me find it here. I can tell you guys, and I'm very happy for Cameron here tonight, that, well, let me show you here. And Cameron can chime in here in a minute. So, but I'm pretty excited for Weatherman Cam. And so this is Cameron's big news here, y'all. Well, if you notice this right there, look at that, y'all. And a relationship. It's official, folks. It is official. Weatherman Cam, and I'm sorry, ladies. I'm sorry, but you had plenty of opportunity, but you didn't take advantage of the situation when he was single. Because I can officially say tonight that Weatherman Cam is officially off the market. So that is his girlfriend. That's Gracie, and that's Cameron. But Cameron, I do got a question for you. How in the world did you wind up landing a girl like that? I mean, you're so goofy. How would any girl ever give you a girl like that ever give you a chance? I would definitely say, Weatherman Cam, that you've outkicked your coverage. You have. You've outkicked your coverage. Now, I don't know Gracie very well. I've met her a couple of times, and she seems to be really nice. But I do know her stepfather, Lee Harvey, and he's we go back quite a ways here, and he's a good dude. I know this family, great family, and Lee's a great dude. And I don't know her mom very well, although I have met her, and she seems like she's really, really nice too. So it's a good family, a great family. And I will say this. This is all jokes aside. Cameron's a great dude, and he definitely deserves a great girl like this. All right, so that's being honest here. Cameron, you didn't. Yes, you did outkick your coverage, but I'm saying here is, Cameron, you do deserve a good girl like that. You do. And Gracie, I'm sure you know already. But you got a diamond in the rough there. He's a one of a kind, and there ain't many like Weatherman Cam anymore. I mean, you're talking about a guy that just gets it. He gets it. He'll make you laugh. I mean, I guess he can make you cry. I'm not an emotionally guy. I'm a real emotional guy when it comes to that kind of stuff. But he could make you cry. I don't think he will, but he could. I mean, I don't know, maybe laughing so much. He really is a funny guy, and he's a lot of fun to be around. He's got a lot of energy, especially if you give him some of the those C4s that he likes to drink. We can have a lot of energy, and sometimes it's too much to handle. And don't let him have. My best advice to you is, don't let him have like more than one or two adult beverages, because anything beyond that, it's not pretty. So, and I'm not talking about from a mean standpoint. It's just, you think Cameron's got the energy whenever he drinks a C4. You ought to see him when he drinks about 3 or 4 adult beverages. Then he really got the energy then. But it's like a fun energy. It's not a bad energy. It's a fun energy, but it kind of gets on your nerves a little bit. So anyway, but congratulations goes out to my good friend Cameron Lindsay. No, not engaged or anything like that yet, but you never know. A year from now, or maybe 2 years from now, you never know. We could be planning a wedding. It's you just never know. The Lord works in mysterious ways. So, but then it's like I told Cameron though. I mean, everything happens for a reason, right? Things didn't work out with this with this one person because you were supposed to work out with this other. Yes, Gracie, he's a good guy. Cool, no, but he's a good guy. He definitely ain't cool, but he's a good guy. So, and he's a good weatherman. He's a good meteorologist. He's a hell of a meteorologist. So, yeah, well, you're probably right by that, Shannon. I would say that I'm grounded by a pretty good woman. I guess you're probably grounded by a pretty good woman too. So, yep. The Yankee comes out. Amen. Yeah, the Yankee does. I wouldn't say the Yankee. I would say the college boy comes out in him. I've only seen Cameron like that one time, and 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 yeah, he's crazy and fun to be around, but it's a little bit too much for me to handle. Now Gracie probably can handle it fine, but I don't. Yeah, that's just not my thing, really. So. So y'all thought you were going to come on here and see just all me talking about weather, thunderstorms and whatnot, and then I tell you about Weatherman Cam's girlfriend. So we'll have to have her and him on here live one night. That'd be a lot of fun. Yeah, I bet it is. Let me look at the radar real fast there for the Crowell area. I know it's Crowell. I just say Crowell. Actually, there's a severe thunderstorm warning down there now. Let me see what the velocities look like in it. Some pretty good winds there, but I don't see anything don't see anything that looks severe. Strongest winds I see are kind of south and west of Crowell now, but I really don't see anything severe in that, honestly. Pretty good. It's got a pretty good outflow boundary, pretty good gust front now. As a matter of fact, I'll show this again while we're on here. Well, you doing Friday, Ken? Well, I'm working. What are you doing Friday, Cam? All right, I'm gonna show this weather radar real fast, and we'll continue the chat. All right, so this is the thunderstorm warning we got out there for Ford County, and looks like southwestern Wilbarger, southwest of Vernon, that is. It goes down into northern parts of Knox County and a very small part of northwestern Baylor County, and it's for this cluster of thunderstorms. And if I enhance it, you can see the outflow boundary. It looks like a snake there out in front of it. That's the rain-cooled air that that hits the ground and kind of spreads out and kind of rushes out ahead of the thunderstorm itself there. So behind it, you got some pretty good downpours moving into Crowell now, south of Quanah. Oh, I suppose there could be some BB size or maybe some P size hail in it, but probably not much of that. It's mostly just some gusty winds. And if we take a look there, I don't see like some really crazy winds in that. Honestly, there might be some decent wind, maybe a little bit of a downburst signature, maybe there just to the north of Crowell, maybe. But I don't really see any major winds. Maybe the best winds we may see may be, I don't know, probably right there along the outflow boundary. Probably some 40, 50 mile per hour winds. I see some pretty good winds coming through the northern part of Tillman County now at those thunderstorms. Yeah, that's some pretty decent winds there, moving south towards Frederick. Now, I wouldn't be surprised to see some warnings come out for that. That's one of those downburst signatures there. And if we stop it, I can show you that some of the winds, 35, 40 mile per hour winds. That's nothing major. But there's might be some gusty winds in that. So nothing major, though. But yeah, and maybe some downpours, maybe some very small hail there. And the question is, where will these storms go? The upper level winds are kind of out of the north here around a big area of high pressure. You've also got some storms up into this area too. And it looks like this is going to kind of drop into this area there. So there, could be some decent storms overnight over in here. And we might wind up seeing some of this activity kind of over here. I know. Thank you. So, I might see some storms over in this area here. If these storms up here could hold together, then you might see some that might impact some of these areas over this way. So storms have finally started getting going here in the area. But, some places getting some storminess overnight, others don't. But these are the summertime variety. Just some thunderstorms here, maybe some gusty winds with them, the lightning, maybe some heavy rain. But as far as anything goes, as far as like significant severe, no, probably not. Probably not. So, all right. So, monumental moment, Cameron. What does that mean? So you want to put Gracie on Friday? Well, we can do that. I'm gonna be here. I'm not going anywhere, so I'll be here. What is your question, Kate? I didn't see it. I'm sorry. I've been looking at other things. What's your question? I'm not mad at you. You've done nothing for me to be mad at you, Kate. Do you think these storms will cause flight delays in OKC? Well, I mean, right this second, I'm doing good, Kate. Thank you. Right this second, yeah, I mean, there might be some flight delays coming in with those. Anytime you get some little thunderstorms moving through with these gust fronts like this and these microbursts and whatnot, they probably will delay flights for a little bit because, I mean, that's a dangerous thunderstorm to fly in. It creates, matter of fact, my uncle used to be a pilot. And he told me that there's microbursts are, some of the, leading causes of these plane crashes and whatnot. So I would say yes. I'd say that possibly a little bit of a delay in Oklahoma City, but not by much. Just maybe 30 minutes or so. Maybe. Well, if Gracie wants to be on, we can certainly put her on. We can do it where I send you a link at your apartment and y'all can do it that way, or you can just come into the station, whatever you want to do. Hubby is trying to fly in tonight. Well, I mean, I think that he'll get to fly in. I mean, these thunderstorms aren't going to cancel any flights. I mean, it just might delay it by a little bit, but probably not much. What they usually do is they don't divert the planes. What they do is they just make the plane kind of circle around until the thunderstorm passes through, then they let them land. So. It's 9:50, so I'm about to have to go. So, of course, don't get me started on all this cloud seeding crap. I mean, people are mean. I mean, they are mean that, I give them a reality that is what is a likely scenario, what is, definitely scientifically proven, not only from, sounds good, Gracie, not only from a scientific standpoint, but, just from a logical standpoint. I try to give people the good information, and most of you love it and appreciate it, but you'll get a couple of these conspiracy theorists that don't like that. So, and I'll reiterate again, as I posted on my page, it's the last time I'll do. I won't even mention it again, probably, that, I'm sure it's flooded down there in Dallas with that heavy rain. None of this has had anything to do with cloud seeding. None of it has. So maybe there was a brief, it might can impact some of these rain areas over a small period by a little bit, but it ain't going to create anything like that. It's impossible. Plus, if they did it on July the 2nd, the clouds they seeded would be long gone by July the 3rd and 4th anyway. So I hate to burst your bubble, but no, conspiracy theorists, no, that did not. Even if they would have cloud seeded, it would have done nothing to create that. So I don't know what you're talking about, camera. I wasn't short with her. I was just like, yeah, I got to go here in a minute. I was talking about something that was, something on my mind there, on my heart there. But yes, Gracie, I will include you in, and I promise I'll go easy on you. I will not go easy on Cameron, but I'll go easy on you. Okay. So, all right, guys, I got to go. Y'all have a good night, and I will see y'all tomorrow, and y'all have a great Wednesday, July